This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
And a massive warm welcome to the Bar Steward's Enquiry Weekend Podcast. Yes, it's Ebor Weekend, folks. This is the meeting that everyone raves about that knows they're racing. They forget all the other rubbish throughout the summer. This is the racing day, and what a week we've had at the Bar Stewards. We've been racing, we've backed plenty of winners, and and now we're going to seal the deal with a brilliant Saturday show with some more naps and winners to see you through the week and hopefully crown off a fantastic week's racing. And joining me tonight to go through and chew the fat are two cohorts tonight. We haven't got a full house, but two very good judges in John Lang and Nick Davis. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening, Lee.
Yes, and this is it now. I feel comfy with us three. I really think we're going to do this tomorrow, and get some more profit in the bank.
I'm quite comfy myself. I'm in a prone position in your spare room, where I've been strapped down all week, and just you and the producer have just been using me like a communal swaddle. But, I've every confidence I might be able to get up and go to the races tomorrow.
Yeah,
I thought you were clean living people up north, not raving perverts.
Absolutely not. I don't know what the hell gave you that idea, Nick?
It's we needed a rest day. We're getting old. I mean, we couldn't do the 4 days. We're there tomorrow, of course, but we just needed a rest day. We needed a recharge day. We had a meat fest last night at the Brazilian, an absolute trays of meat flowing with the red wine and the fizz, and we came home in a bit of a mess. But we've had today to recharge, and it was pleasant because we've gone through the cars. We haven't got to dress up. We sat there in his pants, and and we're ready for a corking show.
No wonder we don't go on video then.
This is why we're not on video. It's the
Apple would take us off the air, wouldn't it?
We've got a clean rating with Apple, and of course, we are the not totally shit podcast of choice for racing. So on to the best bet. This is where we go around, take the best three bets from each panelist, and then we just discuss the telebox races and the rest of York, etc. So, Davis, I'm coming to you first because I've missed you. You've been away from the show for a couple of weeks, and I want your third best bet, please, for Saturday.
Right, let's go in the opener. I'm getting a bit unconvinced about the 3-year-old male mile form. I mean, the St James's Palace isn't working out. Caribus has been stuffed again in native trials, keeping their stuff. I'm not convinced that it's up to much. So I want to take on the 3-year-olds in the Strensall. And what I'm going to do, I don't think there's a value in there, so I'm going to play the top two in a reverse forecast. Barishkova, Cadillac. If you look at the top speed figures, they're quite a bit ahead of the others, and I'm convinced that the 3-year-olds below that level anyway, the top level, are a bit of a muchness. So I thought this was a sort of a ideal way to play what I thought were the top two 4-year-olds in the race in a reverse forecast to pay well.
So you're going to go 0.5 points reverse?
No, yeah, a half-point reverse, Barishkova, Cadillac.
And Cadillac, yep. Yeah, that should pay quite nicely indeed. Taking the top two out, like Nick says, the classics form, not worked out particularly well. The Guineas form, etc. And I can see that angle. Al Flaler, I thought, was a little bit unlucky against Mighty Ulysses as well at Newmarket because he was slowly away, and he was rushed up, took the race up and just flattened out late. So that might be closer than the betting suggests at 11 to 8 and 4 to 1.
I just think St James Palace form is pants, isn't it?
It is. Take Maljoom out that would have won 5 minutes. And even then, like you say, it's a German Guineas winner. Is that top class form. And like you said, I totally take your reasons for doing that, Nick. So hope that gets us off to a flyer. Nick's reverse forecast in the Strensall at 150. John Lane, coming to you.
Well, if you get anything out of Nick's reverse forecast, you've got a long wait for my next bet. That's in the 520 at York. And I'm backing two old mates here that's going to have listeners absolutely groaning and calling me all sorts. But guess what? I don't give a monkeys. And the first one is Happy Tim's Fishable in the 520. Now, I don't think this is necessarily the most likely winner at 28-1, but I do think it's been badly overlooked in the market. This one ran a really good race at the May meeting last year, I think it was, when Thick Dave got into all sorts of trouble. Most of it wasn't his fault, to be fair. It was just how the cards were dealt. And I thought the horse ran a terrific race and showed plenty. Certainly showed that it was capable of winning a race of this ilk of 92. He's maybe not looked in the best of form this year, but I very much like the fact that Tim has given this horse a little break. And 47 days, he's had a chance to give it a little tweak and an hurdle, and I think this will be primed to run a rather improved race tomorrow. And I do think it's overpriced. I think Phantom Flight's probably the most likely winner. But I think this at 28-1 is definitely worth a little tiny each way wank.
So you wanting?
I've got the tweezers out. Yes,
you've got each way wank fest. The Neville Ender bet. For John, is Fishable. John, 28-1, 5 places with Sky Bet for Fishable. Becoming quite well handicap now, Fishable.
I think so.
Yeah, can see your reason. And obviously a very rewarding price for our listeners. Moving on then, my third best bet goes in the Ebor, and we've already had the prices down to John. Obviously, this is John's selection on license. We put this up on a sermon at 50s, and there was plenty of 40s around. Obviously, license is a lot shorter than that now, currently trading around 11-1. And I felt I needed a little. John also feels this as well. That we need a little bit of insurance now. We've got some good odds, and we're sort of looking for value maybe in some of the other runners. And one runner I feel is very underlooked here in the Ebor at the moment is it's strange really, because given who the trainer is, the shirt and Tom Marquand and a good draw in 17, Candleford 12-1 available with Denise. I'm going to go on the nose for a 1-point win because you can fanny about with each way like John, but we can't be bothered with that. So, and look what I got for fannying early in the week. Each way on an 8-1 shot that won. If I'm 3 points win, it's double baloney, and that's it. It's a mistake from me, but Candleford at the 12-1 available. This horse was uber impressive, beating Ajero at Ascot. Yes, he got thumped by the handicapper from 91 to 104 for £13 rise. I think it warranted it. He's been wrote off after Newmarket, which is rather strange because nothing got into it at Newmarket. They went slow. It was a farce of a race. They all finished grouped up. And Candleford was never in it. In fact, some of us were even saying, why is Candleford even running in this? Because you just send him straight to the Ebor after Ascot. That's what I think I'd have done. And what price would he have been? Nick, I'm going to ask you. What price would Candleford be coming straight from Ascot to the Ebor, not watching Newmarket?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Gives you a clue, that doesn't it?
Oh, keep listening. Yes, the 12-1 Candleford. He's very. I'm really surprised how underlooked this horse is. It should be. Yeah. Anyway, so 12-1 for my 1-point win, and that will give me a bit of insurance for the 50s we've had about license earlier this summer. Okay. Round 2. I'll kick us off going back the other way around. This is a blogger sort of style selection. Disappointing selection, but nevertheless, it's a filly I like very much. Grand Dam in the 205 at Sandown, the Atalanta Stakes. Very, very impressive last time. I bet her in the Coronation. I didn't think she was a forlorn hope. I thought she was beaten by Fontaine at York, but Frankie had her too far back at York. You know what it's like at the mile at York. If you just get that little bit, just give something first run, you can struggle. And that's what beat her there. She was disappointing then in the Coronation for whatever reason. But then I thought she was the filly I thought she was last time out. She's beaten Oscula by 3.5 lengths. Now, I know Oscula was given the £3 penalty, but look at Oscula since. She's won the Oak Tree, she's won in Deauville, and it's the price now to reverse the form with Fontaine, which I think, as long as things go right, she's a certainty to do, because, as I say, the way York was riding that day and stuff, I just don't think it went her way. James Doyle on, very, very confident. Grand Dam wins. 9-4 available. I think that's value. That's the 2-pointer, sort of a banker bet. Really like her chances. Okay, John, coming to you for your 2-pointer.
Well, in Quentin Frank's absence, I thought somebody ought to start shitting about on the all weather. And anybody who wants shitting about, I'm your man. This one runs at Chelmsford in the 6:35.
Yeah.
Those of us who remember as far back as Wednesday will remember that I put up Oviedo in the Acom, who had a bit of an unlucky run, and on the given day, I think he could have been about level with the second without maybe winning the race, but I thought that was pretty good form. Lil Frank was expected to beat Oviedo on debut, and while I don't think there's any circumstances under which he would beat Oviedo, I think even without the normal progression from debut to second run, this one really ought to muller this lot. Nanga Parbat, the apparent danger on the betting, I thought ran through beaten horses at Newbury. I'm not too worried about that one, despite the all-weather pedigree. Probably, I think they may be overreacting, actually, to the pedigree, the betting. I mean, I'd have these prices completely different. I'd be going toes on Little Frank.
Yeah.
And I have to go 2 points win, Little Frank.
Well, probably a tip in itself, because I know you don't go that short very often. And 2 points for 11-10, like you say, it looks strong form now after Oviedo's running the Acom, which that horse would have finished a little bit closer, we felt.
If Varian can't deliver here, they might as well get a shovel and dig Mick Jarvis and put him back in charge.
Bring back Mick Jarvis appeal. Yeah, definitely. 11-10 for John. William Hill, 2 points win. So good luck with that, John. Nick, coming to you for your 2-pointer.
Right then, this is going at Chester. 420. We're going with Roman Dragon. It's a bit shorter than my usual, but I think it's got a hell of a lot going for it. Yeah, it's got a lot of form over sort of 7 furlongs, but it won here very, very well over 6. This is 5.5, but it's packed with pace and packed with a lot of 5 furlong horses pace. So there's no rail, so I'm hoping he sits one off the rail in about 4th, 5th. And then when everything comes to a rapid standstill in the extra half furlong, so there's so much pace here, it's unbelievable. I'm hoping this will come through. It's been running in some better races than this, and the better horses here above it in the weights are drawn very, very wide. Hyperfocus. I don't know if that will suddenly get the Chester disease of stepping on something in the morning from stall 11, but I expect this to go off at about 3-1. I think it's about 9-2 at the moment.
It is
Dragon
9-2 with Dirty Denise. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-1 chance. I think there's a lot of pace inside and outside it, and hopefully he can stay out of trouble. The one little worry is there's no cutaway at Chester. It's the inside line, So, there can be a bit of trouble, but I'm hoping he comes one off the rail and in the last sort of half furlong asserts.
And you love Harry Davis. You absolutely love Harry Davis, don't you?
He's fucking nephew.
You do, though, don't you? You're a big fan of Harry Davis. So you think he's good value for his 3 still?
Yeah, I think he's still good value for his 3. Yeah, I'm just hoping that he, stays one off the rail here and then challenges a little bit wider in the last half furlong.
Yeah, what do you make of the recent biases, Nick, at Chester? Because last few meetings have been bang outside. Any rhyme or reason for that? Or
you can have a lot of things. I mean, there's so many different runs at Chester. The rail might have been out, the cutaway there. There can be that's the trouble with draw biases. You look at them, you look at draw biases, and what it doesn't tell you in these draw biases is, whether there's a cutaway, whether the rail was out. It's like Goodwood's a different kettle of fish with a cutaway. Yeah. It's not, you don't get a bad draw, but then the Golden Mile day is usually the first day of the thing coming away, so it becomes a draw bias race. If they had if they had the Golden Mile on the first day, then with a cutaway, it wouldn't be so biased. But I don't mind that. But the draw bias in every course. I mean, today York high.
Yeah, I think that was due to the crosswind. There was quite a real stiff, straight crosswind, which I think anyone that's backed the Nunthorpe favourite today, which I didn't think was value anyway, but
I think you can still upgrade it from that.
Yeah, anything challenging down that far side today, I think because of the wind, I had the full brunt of the wind on the haunches. So I would upgrade anything that's been right challenging on the left side. As we saw today, everything was sort of challenging centre, just getting a bit of shield and a bit of cover from that wind. And a pointer for York tomorrow. Looking at the wind forecast, just for punters that are playing the wind. Get a similar sort of direction. It's probably moving to a slight tailwind. York tomorrow. It's moving less sort of crosswind, more slightly behind them. So if anyone's having a bet at York tomorrow, it might help the front end, but again, draw might be crucial on this. So it might just tend to favour maybe away from that far rail again, but we'll see. But yeah, good points, Nick. So Roman Dragon 9-2, 2-pointer, case well made for Carlton Palmer and Barry Davis. Good luck with that one. We'll go to the 3-point round. And I'm going to start with John Joe. Come on, John.
Right, and this will be another sickener for regular listeners, I'm afraid. You need to cast their minds back even further than Oviedo last Wednesday and back to the Hunt Cup debacle. I joined Lee and the producer at their holiday home on Hunt Cup Day, and one of the most anguished cries of the day was when I was watching the Hunt Cup and blurted out, "I think mine must have fucking fallen." It hadn't. It had just basically down tools and hadn't wanted to know, and the jockey let the horse come home in its own time. I rather insanely still believe in this horse. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to think I'm irrational. But I still think this is a well-treated horse with a good handicap in it. And that horse is Fantastic Fox. You can see the Hunt Cup for yourselves. You know the risk I'm taking. I think the horse is overpriced. If he puts his best foot forward and he settles, I would make him a 7-1 poke for this race. I very much respect V8, is it?
V-side. The well-handicapped one, I bet it is, yeah.
Yeah, that ran at Goodwood, got a desperate trip, hated the track. I think the draw isn't ideal there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that run a massive race, especially given the amount of water that's probably gone on at Sandown. But I am rowing in with Fantastic Fox. If you think I'm an idiot, ignore me. If you don't think I'm an idiot, it's probably still best to ignore me. But I don't really care what you think. I'm having a pop at it.
Okay, so 350 Sandown. It's a fantastic fox for John. It's priced at 18 to 1. You can have a fifth the odds with William Hill, bet 365. Denise.
How many places?
5.
Tweezer's out again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, fantastic fox then. 18 to 1, 5 places for John, generally available. Just one thing if you're betting at Sandown tomorrow also. I noticed the going stick was 6.4 today. The Clark, Andrew Cooper, believes that's good ground. That's got to be pushing it a bit. That was saying at 8 a.m. this morning. I know it's going to dry out, but what I'm trying to say is if he's calling that good at 6.4, when he was calling good to firm 7.7 for the Eclipse meeting, you can see what I'm getting at. And I'm sick of Clark's doing this. There seems to be this massive broadband of good ground from 6.4 to 7.2. Well, it's good. You know, I mean, it's not, is it? It's one's faster than the other. So just watch his stick in the morning. Yeah, what? Just watch Cooper's stick in the morning and see see where we're at. Oh dear.
Stick watch.
Stick watch form in the morning. Remember, folks, this Clark though don't get up till about 8:30 in the morning. So wait until he's gone on the. Well, no, he won't be going on the morning line tomorrow because it's your.
Cooper, show us your stick.
Yeah, so that's a sort of a punter's pointer. Just before you place your bets, you don't want to be backing fast ground horses if the stick if who knows what he's stuck on today. He might have stuck some on him, who knows? But just keep an eye on that just before your bets. Right, okay. That was John's. So I'm going to move to Davis. What's your best?
In the Ebor Candlefords. You thought that might be coming. Yeah, I agree. You basically that race. I mean, Trawler won. Trawlerman was right out the back with him, and he's come out and won at Goodwood. You have to put that race in Newmarket as a write-off. There was a couple of fatalities as well, wasn't there? Or something like that. When they bunched up or something inside. That was absolute joke of a race. I'm still waiting for Sam Cook to run out of that. That finished best of the ones that wide. But yeah, you can't ignore the way that Candleford demolished that field and everything. He looked all over an Ebor, and I thought he'd be about Purple Moon territory, 4-5 to 1.
Yeah, like you say, if he comes straight out of Ascot, there's no doubt he's disputing favouritism, no doubt whatsoever. So that's a wrong write-off for Candleford in the odds.
Yeah, and some of your best bets in the thing is if you can find a valid reason for a bad run last time out. So much emphasis is put on the last run when they're pricing up nowadays. That you have to do that. So you're backing them now over twice the price that they would get. So yeah, like you, I'm a little bit iffy. I don't want him to get too far back here. So it's a win only bet.
Yeah, no, good 3 points on the nose. I'm the same as you, Nick. No messing around. Like you say, it's one of them. Things go absolutely perfect for him. He's got to go close for me. So the prices are wrong. Me and Davis both think this horse possibly should be half the odds he is in the betting. So Candleford is the one to bet at current prices. Good stuff, Nick. And we've got a klaxon there. I'm klaxoning it. It's a Candleford klaxon. It's great because now we can double fiddle and fudge out results. We can claim licence as a big anti-purse winner. And now if Candleford wins, we can claim a klaxon. We're not daft. Any flies on us are paying rent.
Our name's not Martin Julian, and we haven't got about eight podcasts. Did you see that interview when he said I used to post on about 8 different names or something like that?
Yeah. Wait, it reminds me of that Minder episode when you remember when Terry's in the phone boxes and he's tipping them a different horse in every race.
That's what they used to do, didn't they? They used to do all that. 10 letters out,
yeah. Five runner races, just tip them each different one, and you're going to get like 20 subscribers instantly on the back of whatever wins. Fantastic! What glory days that was. Arthur Daly and Terry McCann. That's us, the bar stewards. Okay, to finish the round off, 3-pointer for me goes in the last at York. This is the one where some people will be sweating. It'd be pressure time. You've had a bad week. It's the very last race. And I think we can actually, get out on the Phantom Flight. James Horton's runner. Now, this horse ran an absolute belter at Newmarket behind New London. Of course, all the rage was everyone's back New London, 6-4 Fav, Applebait. Oh, what an obvious bet that was. This is as good as New London. If you watch the positions they come from, and I've looked at the sectional analysis and stuff, there is nothing between Phantom Flight and New London in terms of trips. They literally would have finished probably upsides had things gone better for Phantom Flight. So you take that into account. If New London was in this race what's Phantom Flight's gone up £3. If New London was in this off 102 from winning that off 99, New London would be about 11-10. I would rate Phantom Flight a 15-8 chance. He's a very strong favourite. I think he's just got to negotiate a good trip, and I think we'll be in clover. I think it's a good bet at 3-1. I won't lay 3-1. It's a solid opportunity, and if it just repeats that Newmarket run, if it progresses from Newmarket, we're in absolute business. So it's a good bet. I think it has to go off shorter than 3-1. It's the only one you can bet for me. So Phantom Flight to finish off the round, 3 points, 3-1. Right, hope you enjoyed our analysis. We move on to the television fair and whatnot. So looking at the telly races tomorrow, I'm surprised that they're even bothering to televise it anywhere other than York, but they are. They've decided to go to Sandown, probably so Cooper can talk about his lunch at 9:30 and his stick and steak tomorrow for Cooper. So we'll go to Sandown first, chaps. I don't know if either of you had a chance to look at Sandown races tomorrow, given there's only one class meeting. 205 is the Atalanta Stakes. Valuable race, £80,000 for a Group 3 is good money. Fillies and mares. Our tips up Grand Dam, so I'm going to sit this one out. Nick, John, anything to report for you on the Atalanta?
I'd have to back the Grand Dam. I mean, the one that is it second favourite at the moment or what?
No, it's 9-4. Fontaine 100-30. Obviously, Fontaine beat her at York narrowly, very narrowly. I don't think Miss Unseen will be right. Obviously, she's been off. If she'd have been right this summer, they'd have had her probably in the Oaks and a few other races. I just don't think she's had since the Breeders' Cup exploits. When I even said, why on earth are they running Miss Unseen on really quick ground? I don't think she wanted that. But anyway, she'd buy Siuni, but action doesn't say that. Any thoughts, Nick, John?
I'd be with Grand Dam, but I wouldn't. It's not my really not my race.
No. John?
I think it is a decent pace, and I can see Potapova running well. I don't think the last couple of races are particularly suited her. She's certainly got it in her. Be on the premises in a race such as this. I think 16-1's quite sporting, but overall, I think this Gosden house would probably win 7 out of 10 of these. Yeah,
no, well, yeah, hopefully, yeah. I think 9-4's value. I'd be a bit shorter, but yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the 240, the Solario Group 3 for 2-year-olds. Desert Hero is 5 at 11-4 after an impressive win for the shirt. And Greedy Betty. John, Nick, any views on this?
2-year-olds new. Mind you, I saw a 2-year-old today. I did like that Appleby one. That one today.
The one that won the gym crack, or
yeah. The
Noble Style.
Yeah. I thought that was a really nice horse. It did everything a lot wrong.
Yeah, that was a high class gym crack as well. That form is going to work. That's one of the best. I said to John before, and I think that's one of the best gym cracks we're going to see. The front three, the Cole horse was solid. The second horse, Marshman, ridiculous sectionals at first, and he probably quickened too soon today. And the Godolphin horse again showed real guts and determination, as well as being a very good horse to get on top in the end. So yeah, I'd absolutely agree with you, Nick. I think going forward, it's solid form for the rest of the season to follow that race. And John, just before this, I mean, we probably release this on the sermon, but you like one physically, didn't you, in that gym crack today?
Very much so. The Kevin Ryan horse Was it Chilcot?
Chuzzlewit.
Chuzzlewit, same difference. Yeah, completely out of his depth today. I thought it was an awful piece of placement. The horse ran in a terribly immature fashion as well. When the pace quickened, honestly, his arse end was nearly catching the front up. He ran on nicely in the last furlong. Obviously, he was passing beaten horses at the time, but I think a seven furlong maiden, so that's an absolute formality.
No, I agree with you. I thought that was the pick. That was the paddock pick. Obviously, couldn't show it today, but like you say, up a furlong, etc. Could be a really nice horse. Good spot from you, John, on that. Anything then for you for Solario? Any 2-year-old catch your eyes, John?
The one I like actually is the Lope de Rega called Silver Knot of Charlie Appleby's. I think that the best thing about this is the fact that Cooper and his stick have maybe overdone the old liquid solution here.
Yeah.
And this one is by far the most likely to cope with it, I think. I thought Desert Hero beat some fairly average rivals at the time when he won the race. And as with all Betty's horses, it will be overhyped to a certain extent because we're desperate for Betty to have a Derby horse, aren't we? The other one I liked in the race was Defence of Thought, but I tend to think that would also like quick ground, and he's probably ready for a stiff mile already, I would have thought. Whereas I think this Silver Knot might have a bit too much tactical speed for some of these. I quite like his chance here.
Interesting.
The Foxes, for example, who I am a fan of the Foxes. Andrew Baldwin saying they're going here because they don't want to miss out on the quick ground. Well, has he met Andrew Cooper? But there we go.
Yeah, no, fair point. And just another thing, if you're a Silver Knot fan tomorrow, if the going is, I would say anything below 7. I know it's going to dry, so you just never know. I'd say anywhere below 7. That'll be in Silver Knot's favour. The mother God given, she was a bit of a soup monster. She did win on other ground, but her best 2 performances came at Capanel in the Group 1 Fillies and Mares. She won that on heavy ground. She won on soft ground. So basically, John's sort of like, sort of like things about the ground, like a bit of cut. I think that's interesting what John said. And the dam actually thrived under such conditions. So that is interesting if you're a Silver Knot fan. So watch for Andrew's stick in the morning.
Waving it around like a
like a market raisin. Round and round it goes, like a good old RAF chopper. 150 York. Davis has already spoke here. He's told us that the front 2 in the market, he doesn't rate the 3-year-old form. That's why he's gone for the forecast. So Nick's sitting this one out. So it's down to me and John. I thought the race was probably priced about right. If I was Davis, and obviously Davis will do his own thing, but Cadillac for me, he's a bit jadey. So if I were doing Davis's thing, I'd do a straight forecast, Bashka over to beat Cadillac. That's what I'd do because I think that's Cadillac's just a bit, What do you think, John?
I think Mighty Ulysses is the best horse in the race, but I'm not entirely convinced he wants 9 furlongs.
No, well, that's it. Yeah. This is a horse. Was it 7 furlongs at Aydock? He contested it. It was the Silver Bowl.
It was a mile, but in the SJP, where I backed him, actually, for me, he came there as though he was going to win the race, allowing for the desperate traffic situation on the inside. I thought he was going to beat those who didn't have an interrupted run. Lucille and there was another one, wasn't there? Can't remember what, but anyway. But he emptied out.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought, well, does he want 9? No, does he, bollocks?
He's a fair shout, to be honest. I don't see him as a 9, to be honest.
No, if I had to have a bet and somebody put a gun to my head, I'd probably throw in with Alflela, but I'm not inclined to back that one either.
No, because I know what you're saying with that. Did miss the break a bit at Newmarket when it was second to him. I'd like to leave the race alone if I'm perfectly honest, but that's where we stand on that. Okay, the 225 is the Melrose, and listeners will know that the world. This is like the big rock penalty on this horse. Solcombe in the Melrose. Us bar stewards are absolutely all over this. And just looking at the prices as we were recording, Paddy Power Betfair have just decided to go out on a complete limb and go 9-2 Solcombe.
9-2, that's quite big. I thought he was going to be one of the most overbet horses of the day.
Everyone else is like 3-1, 11-4. I don't know if this is some kind of like special that they sometimes do, and they're just doing a special or something.
£10 maximum if you bring great grandmother if you're over 30.
It could be that, but that's absolutely miles out. This is the best horse in the race, and from my perspective, I'm not saying it has to come down and turn up, because in these sorts of races that's just not true. But if someone told me that it wouldn't miss the break 6, and it would get a clean run, I'm absolutely adamant it wins. Absolutely adamant it wins. It's probably about.
What was the one that finished third to Secret State at Inverness? That didn't look a stayer to me.
No, Inverness was Inverness was like being clawed back all the time by Solcombe. It just had the run of the race, Inverness. So I can't have that. That's sort of 11-12 to 1 chance. You look at the others. Soul Stopper, you sort of respect. There's a few I sort of respect, but none of these have got £12 in hand. This has got 12. This is a 95 horse. We estimated that earlier in the season. 95. It's off 83. You know what is not to like. We just need the look, need the breaks that we didn't get at Goodwood, the slow sectionals at Goodwood. So Secret State that won the race has finished second in a Voltager. I mean, Paddy Power Bet, they must have done it for like £10 punt or something. 9-2, they've just absolutely crazy price. I'd be 5-2-ish. Nick, John?
Yeah, I thought it was going to go 5-2. I thought it might even be over bet. I thought it might even go 9-4, 2-1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. To be honest, I mean, if it's a price, I'll even have more on it. If it sort of goes off around, say, 5 on the machine or something, 5.0, I'll have more on the machine near the off. John?
I'm not putting anything up against Solcombe.
No, unanimous decision there. Obviously, price is king as always, but watch the exchanges for that. If there's any market movements with Solcombe for the shirt, hopefully it'll carry us to greatness this week on Ebor Week. 3 o'clock, a really tough contest, the City of York Stakes, Group 2 affair. Sacred is current market leader, just at 4-1 for the shirt. Any views here, Nick, John?
I thought it was indeed as difficult as a handicap.
Yeah,
you'd have to say Sacred. Her beaten runs have come on undulating tracks, so this should suit her a bit more. I mean, she's got to be beaten at Newmarket twice and at Goodwood. All right, once might have been the Guineas over a mile, but this will suit her more. But there's not an awful lot between them. I mean, if Al Suhail ever come back to his best, he'd be a runner, and they've given him a lot of time off. And there, you could think Pogo's gone at the game now. The Irish one wants 6, doesn't it? Sandrine, you can't write off. But I couldn't find a bet here.
Yeah, interesting thing about Al Suhail, I felt his best performance came last back end at Newmarket in the Challenge Stakes, and they decided to make all with him. And I'd been calling him a few names that he was a little bit can be a bit iffy. Just sometimes refused to pass. In my view, sometimes in a tight finish, I called him a few names anyway. But when they decided to take the bull by the horns and just burst him out and go for it, I thought that was a tremendous performance when he beat With Thanks. So something like that, Nick, at 8-1, like you say.
Yeah, that would probably, but I found it a bit impossible. If you had to put a gun to my head, I'd back out to hell at the prices. But
yeah, I'd be against Rohan. I think it's the wrong track for Rohan to do what he does. To be dropped out over a trip, which he does. There's no. He does stay, but I just think he wants a really out and out strongly run 6 to show his best, and I just don't think this is the right placement. Like I said, I backed him for the Vernons. Jumbie shocked everyone 7 days ago. Again, is this the right track for Jumbie? I'm not so sure. John?
I think Sacred's good enough to share this, but I think the price is right,
Yeah, Kinross. Everyone's waiting for Kinross to get a bit of cut. I always think Kinross is just that better with doesn't necessarily need soft or heavy, but some good to soft. Just to get the hocks in, because it's his form generally. He's looked a world beater. I felt on softer ground when he's had a lot of bad luck. He was 4th to Space Blues at Longchamp. He got not a terrible ride from Dettori, but a luckless ride. Symphony was 9th to Creative Force in the Champions Sprint. Just got no luck in running whatsoever. I just think he's slightly better with a bit of juice, which would stop me going in at around 9-2, because I think he was getting quick at York today. So that's where I'd stand on that. But tough race, tough, like Nick says. That's more or less like a typical strong handicap. Right, the Ebor. Me and Nick are going to sit this out. I'm going to let John have centre stage here for any other contenders. John's had a real good bet on licence with a great anti-post pick. John, stage floor for you, sir.
Thank you very much. In all honesty, if I hadn't had a bet, I would back licence.
Yeah.
When I looked at this horse for the race, it seems like age. Oh, no, it's not, obviously. It's a good 2 or 3 weeks. I did feel that if he turned up, he was the one with the most potential. And I haven't wavered from that. I still think that's the case. I think the ground's right. I'm happy with the draw. I have no real recourse to start nobbling his chance. I do respect Candleford. I think that'll run a big race. Overall, I'm very, very happy with my bet on licence.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you made a good case, and we've discussed this on past shows, so not bored.
I've gone against my grain here. I've always been a great believer. If you backed all the Irish horses in the English staying handicaps and all the English sprinters in the Irish handicaps over the last 10 years, you'd have done very well.
Yeah, very good point, Nick. Number of raiders that we've sent over for like the Scurry and a lot of the Irish sprint handicaps, and we've sort of like made mincemeat of, and like you say, Nick, the stayers for whatever reason just seem to, I don't know, just completely outperform British handicappers like with Cesarovic, things like that. Earl of Tyrone, Paddy Toomey, great trainer, got the carrots. Improved the horse no end from John Joseph Murphy. Is that the right favourite? Yes, it is. I do believe Candleford should be there with Earl of Tyrone, as we've always pointed out, but they've definitely got the right favourite. Haggis has got Garcia in, but I'm not as much of a fan of Garcia, to be honest. I'm struggling to understand why Garcia is a shorter price than Candleford, but that's what we're here to do, dissect them. Old boy Yukon Glen. I wouldn't even rule him out. He's off a mark now at 102, where he was 11th in the race last year off a welterweight 116 last year. So years gone by, he's dropped 14 pounds. He's running 2 handicaps since. One was at Chester, which I think you can draw a line through, and the other was 3rd at Goodwood in a strong handicap off 102. So I wouldn't rule out like Yukon Glen, but maybe the draw. You'd want a higher draw than maybe Stall 2. Anyway, we'll crack on. 410 is a 6 furlong handicap. John, this is a disgrace. Anthony Britton, right? What is he doing? Where's Mondomedge?
It's horrendous, isn't it?
For the big follow-up.
Well, it's the Portland in a couple of weeks, and we need the horse ticking over.
Yeah.
And he won't run for possibly 10 days.
Yeah.
Next week, So I don't know what you think. I mean, maybe the horse is injured. I'm concerned though for the potential Portland plunge.
Indeed. I mean, yeah, I'm perplexed by it. I mean, Mondomedge 2 lengths behind the older favourite for the Nunthorpe today, and Anthony Britton doesn't think that he can do 2 races in a week and follow up in the Anthony, disgrace. You'll easily rack up 200 runs on Mondomedge in the next 3 years, and you could have done this, got some tickets, 50,000 a winner, and you'd have been batting. You probably had 12s perk, 14s perk, and batting for the prizes. Davis, any thoughts on this?
Oh, this was the thing. I thought Samhan is ready to win, but I'm not sure York is his track, and Store 2 won't be advantageous. Plenty of pace there, all over the course. God, it was. You might as well just stick the stewards 1-2 in a reverse forecast or something like that. No. I mean, I did look at this dropping down in Tripsalium as well, but I couldn't really make a. There's pace all over the course. And yeah. I've got Summer down as ready to win, but obviously I don't think York is his course, and I think that he may be in the wrong position.
I thought about Mum's Tipple at a price really with the Sardine because this horse has been soft in a finish for a good while, but that confidence booster last time just might have been what he needed. Nice, easy, comfortable win again. Look at the jockeys: Sean Levy, Volkansky, Pat Dobbs. Who was on it last time? The Tory. Massive improvement. Just suddenly come back to and one absolutely doing cartwheels. It's interesting because where was Mum's Tipple's greatest performance?
Oh in
his career. Well, what's interesting is he beat Rayong 11 lengths. Over this course and distance, and it's to me this could be, I don't know, he's coming back. It could be a rider change that caused it. Stall 14 shouldn't be too much of a hindrance on what we saw today. Should track the pace in the centre, and he was very strong in the finish last time. And I've called him some names, very soft and jadey in the finish, but under De Torre last time, very impressive. Wouldn't put anyone off at a price there on Mum's Tipple. Okay, that covers the television. Do we have any other business for the weekend? Have we got anything else interesting?
Usyk in 8, 9 or 10.
Yes, the boxing, 11 p.m. Don't forget the super fight 2 between AJ and Usyk. 8, 9, 10 says Davis. What we saying on the fight, John?
I won't even be watching the fight. I couldn't care less about it. The only fight I'm interested in is what kind of fight license is going to put up in the Ava.
Exactly. Yes, we concur that. License and candle for fans. Right, that's about it then. We're back on Sunday with myself, John, Chris, to chew the fat and talk rubbish on what we've seen, heard and done this week, as always, on the Sunday. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Have a great Saturday and a great weekend. Bye for now.